Christmas is not pagan.
I want you to realize that I had whatever reaction you might be having right now to his name is probably the same one that I had when I turned the tab and saw him there. See, the intro, I had an intro idea too. I just didn't run it by you. 'Cause I thought about like a week ago, and it was gonna be like, "Welcome to the Call to Event live stream," where today's topic and for the rest of the month is trying to give Josh an aneurysm.
Also true. Also true.
Oh my goodness, I was not ready for that name.
I told Josh before I hopped in, I sat in like the queue for a solid 2 minutes trying to think of like a really solid name. Um, and then it occurred to me. I was like, wait, let me try to do something here. So this one is Christmas themed. I'll give you half of that this week, and then we'll
The
talk
other,
next week about.
there's a
We'll,
history element to it too.
yes, we'll talk next week about the second half. But the
Oh
first
my,
clue is that it's Christmas themed. If you get it, leave it down in the comments below. I a like will mysteriously appear under the answer if anybody gets it right. That's all I'm gonna say.
oh my gosh, I yeah. I left Blurry Man knowing that there's a good chance that at least for the stream that my feed might get blurry because that's just what it's been the past two streams. And then I just turned over and saw Caleb.
Slapping hose.
Yeah. And I'm willing to bet. Here's what I'm willing to bet. People are going to tune in, see that name, and immediately,
Dude.
probably immediately tune off because they're going to think of something else. Anyways, my goodness. So
Actually, wait.
this
I'm gonna make
this
it a little better as you talk. Yeah.
this month is going to be different in terms of streams. We have everything planned out actually. And the reason I say this because there's some of them that we kind of leave up to see what kind of happens in the world, and we're still doing it for some of them. Oh no, slapping Haas now. Oh my gosh. Um, there's some of them we leave kind of open. If anything kind of pops up, that way we can kind of keep up with like modern day things. But we decided that we would do something a little bit different. What we're looking to is streams, and this month will be a little, not quite on that mark, but it will sort of follow that a little bit, and you'll see this more in January. I think we're going to keep this system at least until the end of January and see what you guys think. Where we're going to do things more like apologetics on Tuesdays, so things that are usually made against Christianity in response to that, because we do a lot of polemics on our either on our Fridays or on our Wednesdays.
Yeah.
We do a lot of theology stuff with our Wednesdays and our Mondays, and then we have shorts every day, and then Saturday you get a little devotional, and then special projects. So like this week you'll see a special project regarding Caleb's second part of his Richard Carrier debunking from a
Ah.
article series that he wrote called it's like fill in the blank and then it's pagan guys get over it.
Yep.
And so Caleb's doing his second part. I'm half tempted to say, dude, you should go do the third part because he's doing a whole thing about baptism, but that would be or he did a whole thing about baptism.
Really?
Yeah, that
I'm
was the
unaware
third
of that.
entry.
I would love to do
I think it came
that.
out like a year ago, maybe.
All
So
right.
it's
Yeah.
fairly recent, but you could do the whole Richard Carrier has his trilogy and you have your trilogy of special projects.
And there you go.
Um, but yeah, that's coming out this Saturday. But anyways, and Thursdays this month is not quite following that. We're doing a little bit of a we're doing
Hey,
a
Chaos. Good
reaction
to see you.
video this Thursday. The next Thursday we're doing a polemic, and the Thursday after I think we're doing a more like chill talk about the like we all know that like, if you're a Christian, you know the importance of Christmas. We're gonna be talking about that and just kind of chilling together, having like a nice chill Christmas time. But then we get back in January. The idea would be that we're talking about like modern day discussions, like politics, cultural stuff on Thursdays, and then Tuesdays are our apologetics, reactions, etc. Then one of the days too, Caleb wants to do have a meme day where there's just meme reactions, but
Yeah.
So, but yes, I know I was talking, I saw a comment came in. Chaos, what's up, my dude? Always great to see you. Please do not be concerned about Caleb's name. I
Oh
feel like
man,
I
I
need to say
actually
that
might need to
every
go
single
get a
time.
drink after that. I was laughing too hard.
I feel like I need to
Oh,
say that after.
frickin' guy!
What?
I accidentally
Oh,
just
you dropped your
whacked my
headphones.
headphone cord and pulled my headphones right out. I
I
have
feel
no
like
idea what you
every
just
time I see
said.
someone chime in, or just pop in on our counter, I just gotta say, hey, by the way, Caleb has context here. Um, Ooh, but the other fun thing about this too is you'll get extra content from us. You'll get like, I know I'm talking a lot right now, but I promise it's all important. You'll be seeing kind of like the Halloween episode. We took little chunks and we made like mini little episodes throughout the week, along with our shorts. You'll be getting some of that too. So that way, if you couldn't stand for the whole thing or you don't want to watch the whole stream, but you see there's a part of the conversation that seems interesting, we can get that out to you guys. Some of our
Yeah.
streams don't really work well with that. They do better in the full set. But something like the holiday ones, they're easily, um, you can easily chunk them up and it'd be fine. Anyways, so this is our second time covering this topic of Christmas and whether or not it's pagan. And what's fun is that we're doing almost an entire month regarding Christmas, minus a couple things. But what is going to be fun is, like I said, we're going to be doing an apologetic regarding Christmas the entire month, at least until Christmas. We're going to take the week of Christmas off. We might take the whole week off from posting, just so you guys. We don't like to get in the way on like on Sundays or during holidays of people when they should be spending time with family or worshiping, whatever. It's something we need to talk about more. Caleb and I, we might take a break that entire week. We might not because there's still some days that aren't Christmas based, and or it might be good to kind of get some of those reminders out there. If you ever run into that family member who is like, "Yo, Christmas is pagan," or whatever, um, etc., etc. Something he and I need to talk about. Or if you guys want us to post, we will not post on Christmas Day. I can guarantee you that. We will not be streaming the week of Christmas. Posts might be a different story, but the week after we will. So we have about I think 3 or 4, one, two, three 3 days of apologetics regarding Christmas. So it'll be a 3-parter. It'll be fun. And then we'll have a Christmas live stream chill time. And yeah, I kind of filibustered enough
Oh crap! I didn't mute
about what we're
myself.
doing with everything. But anyways, so this topic, Christmas as pagan, this is one I grew up with, along with Halloween, for a very long time. I'm sure once Caleb gets his headphones back in, he would agree with me, and he will not realize that I'm asking if he's going to agree with me. But
Right?
oh wait, did you hear me or?
No.
Okay, so you just agreed with me.
I have no idea what you said.
I said that this was something that I grew up hearing within the church, along with
True.
Halloween, that it has pagan origins. And I said I'm sure Caleb would agree with me once he gets his headphones on, but I'm not going to tell him that. And then you put your headphones on and said yes. But yeah,
I'm just good
this is
like
something that I
that.
kind of grew up with for a while, and so I remember last year, Caleb, you and I got together with this idea. This was your first video, actually. We did.
Hmm.
Was
Yeah, it's
Christmas.
pretty close to the anniversary of when I hopped on too.
Yeah.
So
And because we did it right a little bit after Christmas.
yeah.
And I think our plan is that we're planning to do another one of those longer episodes where we're just kind of chilling and reflecting and chatting. Maybe if we have a good enough internet connection, we can stream it and actually engage with all of you guys for our
Yeah.
Caleb's 1 year anniversary / our end of the year reflection / 4 months after that. It will be going into year. Ooh, it will be our 3 year anniversary of Call to Defend, I think.
Cool.
Um, yeah.
We're old.
Well, but yeah. So, Christmas is pagan, and so here's the fun thing. If you look up, is
Okay,
Christmas
so
pagan?
hang on real quick. The Is Christmas Pagan video was uploaded on December 28th.
Dang,
So, but it was recorded much earlier than that.
I think it was like recorded a week earlier.
It was
I
earlier
think.
than that because a week earlier would have been like right around Christmas. So we probably had
No,
two
because
weeks
we
maybe.
we recorded after Christmas. I remember that. We
I
asked.
did not. Sorry, really quick. I didn't realize our video, my Richard Carrier video, my first one, is partially blocked.
Yeah, I told you that, and it's blocked in
Fascinating.
Russia.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
It's partially
Oh,
blocked in Russia because of the saxophone solo.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's the only one that's partially blocked in our entire thing, and it's in Russia. Here's the
That and
funny
the
thing too.
stream which shall not be named.
Here's the funny thing too. That same sax solo you had me put in the newest one, and I don't have a partial blocking.
Interesting. Okay, so don't
Yeah.
spoil
Oh
my
wait.
jokes, man.
Oh, don't worry. I inserted a couple more.
Oh, good. I did. I expected you to. I expected you to.
There's a
Because you did
couple
last
I
time.
think that you'd be like, "What?" Or you'll be like, "Yeah." I think there's one you'll be like, "Oh no, what? Why'd you do that, Josh?" But it'll be fine.
I mean, my name is Slappin' Hose, so I really can't pass any judgment.
That's fair. But yeah. So here's the thing. Caleb, Oh, sorry. I remember what I was gonna say now. So when we recorded that episode, we asked our pastor if we could record in the church for that day,
Yes.
and then someone that we talked to, I won't say who, in the event they watched this, and I don't feel like getting into a back and forth with them, then told me, "Oh, did you know Christmas is pagan? And is that what you're gonna be talking about?" I was like, "No, it's not." He's like, "Well, actually, it is." And I was like, "Well, it's not." He said, "Well, I have resources." Like, right, what resources? Um, One of them that was mentioned is the beloved, and yet should never really be looked at anymore because it's so awful. The History Channel. Why? They don't list sources ever anymore, or like for the past 10 years. And like
Oh, it's
I
been
have it
longer
up on
than
my
that.
screen right now. I didn't feel like sharing it at the moment just because. I mean, everything we talk about, we're gonna be talking about in like other videos we were reacting to because those are more fun to talk about sometimes. But like, there's not a single source listed, not one. And here's the thing: if you don't have a source listed, either that means you're working with original source material because you don't have to cite those things in a bibliography of any sort because that's not how citations work, or you're making stuff up. And in this case, they have no sources even referenced. They just say, "Hey, this and this." For instance, they mention, which nation was it? It, I can't remember which nation it was. I'm blanking on it right now. I would have to find it. But they reference a nation that is known for not having written documents, and reference them as if they have written documents when we know they don't exist. So, like, come on. If you're gonna cite something, cite your sources, like cite sources, and then those sources better have sources. If they don't have sources, it's again because either they're working with original source material or they're not. And we try to make sure we cite our sources when, especially when it comes to these things. So I don't have it in the description right now because had to, I had some issues, but they will be there later. Maybe even while Caleb's talking at some point. Our sources will be posted. A whole bunch of encyclopedias and stuff you can look at, and other videos you can look at. They're also in our last video because our sources didn't really need to change other than, hey, I found an extra book that says the exact same thing the other 10 said. Anyways, this is a very common one. I think the important thing first, and I think you know I'd agree with this, kind of like the Halloween one, talking about, okay, let's grant that this pagan in
Right.
origin. Let's grant that for a second.
So what?
So what? Because I was thinking about this, Caleb. There was a couple of videos listening to, some from fundamentalists, some from skeptics. I was just trying to like find my way through. One of my favorite ones was by a Muslim.
Yes.
And it was just like, of course, a Muslim is making a video about this, and of course he has no sources for anything he's
Just
saying right now.
the ultimate projection. Yeah.
Yeah, and but they're mentioning things like, because you have this, it's worship, and it's like if you have a Christmas tree, let's just grant Christmas tree is pagan for a second. If you have the tree cut down, it's worship.
If I had a nickel for every time a different religion, I heard a different religion's claim today that Christmas trees are pagan because of Jeremiah 10, I'd have two nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
But it's like worship is intentional. You
Yeah.
don't accidentally worship.
Right. And I like how Mike Winger kind of framed the argument, which is, and I think I've talked about it before on the channel here,
Yeah,
which
you
is,
mentioned it last Christmas and Halloween, but it's good
right,
to reiterate.
right, which is, when does it become pagan? When does the tree become pagan? Is it when it's outside? Well, no, of course not. All If that were the case, then all trees would be pagan. Is it when you cut it down? No, because many trees get cut down and none of them really are used for pagan things. Is it when you bring it inside your house? Well, no, just bringing a tree inside your house isn't inherently a pagan celebration. Is it when you decorate it? Well, no, because people use plants as ornaments and stuff like that, so it's not like that's what makes it pagan. It's the fact that you use it as an object of worship that would make it pagan.
And you don't accidentally worship a pagan deity.
Right?
Um,
Exactly.
you don't like. For those of you who want to say cutting down a Christmas tree and decorating it in your house is idolatrous and pagan, can you name me one Christian who is bowing down to a Christmas tree that you personally know? That you personally know who's bowing down to that tree is worshiping it.
Not even personally. No. Can you find me one?
Oh yeah, there's yeah. Just find one, and I'll back off a little bit. Not a lot of it, just a little bit. But still, it's an intentional thing. Or like, okay, I know the background for what people mean when they talk about fertility, when regards to pagan culture. I get that, but you're just throwing fertility around. Um, Christians also, you know, play into fertility. Is called
Oh,
be
dude.
fruitful and multiply.
Yes. More children. More. We need. I would like to institute the opposite of China's policy, where they had like the one child policy, you can't have more than one child. I want the five child policy where you cannot have less than five children. More.
It was like again, I get what they're actually referring to, but it's so
Right.
fertility.
But
Fertility is
apparently
like
that makes me pagan now.
it was like, well, hold on. Like, do you not remember the blessing from the very first chapter of the Bible
Right.
of be fruitful and multiply? That
Hmm.
means you're, and especially when we have today's advancements and understanding of like female and male reproductive systems and like the cycle the females go on, you can have a better idea of when she's fertile, so that you can have a higher chance in terms of natural understanding of reproduction. Yes, all children come from God's blessing, but still,
Insert sax solo.
I think I'd seen a video on Instagram where it said you were lukewarm if you had a Christmas tree.
Ah, yes, I remember that passage in Revelation 3 too.
Yeah,
It
I
was,
remember when the Bible explicitly says if you practice Christmas, you are
yeah,
lukewarm.
yeah.
Here's the other question that people have sent to me. This was from Halloween too. Where in the Bible does it say to celebrate this?
Doesn't?
It doesn't. It's not a requirement. No one is saying it's a requirement. Now,
Right.
I will say, me personally, I'm not going to say this for everyone. I have more questions for why you don't want to celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior over Halloween. Like,
Well, I don't think it's necessarily so much that, right?
no, okay, let me
Um,
phrase that. Let me phrase that.
but let me,
I have
right.
less questions about the Halloween. Like, okay, whatever. Whatever, don't care. And then the Christmas one is like, okay, but if your heart is focused on the birth of our Savior, now I'm not saying you have to do any practices, but to just cut off Christmas entirely, as some people have tried to argue.
Right.
And it's like, why? Why would you cut off the corporate
The moment of history,
the
right? Like,
I know it's not his actual birthday, but why would you want to ignore the time when the corporate body gathers together to praise God for the incarnate Christ who came down and was
yeah,
born?
yeah.
I have questions about that. I'm not going to say you're not a Christian. I just have questions.
No,
I would press you more on that than I would on the Halloween thing. I would not press you on
right.
Halloween. Like, okay, whatever. The Christmas one, I'd be like, do you just mean the practices or the what we're actually celebrating too? Because now I really have questions if you are including that in the mixture. But I don't know. I yammered on a lot with that. Like I said, this is gonna give me aneurysms.
Yeah.
But
Something I wanted to quickly hit on in terms of fertility,
yeah,
because it is something that seems to come up with every holiday.
yeah,
It's all about pagan fertility, you know, and kind of what we were touching on with fertility. There's an entire book of the Bible dedicated to the act of fertility,
yeah, yeah.
right? Song of Solomon. It's a very very steamy book, and so if you're going to say that, all these symbols of fertility, they're just it's all paganism. It's like, well, hang on now. Now we have to contend with, Solomon comparing his wife to a tree.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite lines is in regard to a tree. It's vivid. But yeah, no, it always fascinates me when people are so willing to, and I'm going to tie it together here, kind of surrender the days to the skeptics and to the pagans. We talked about it with Halloween, and Josh, you were kind of hitting on it a little bit. Where it's, they want to cut it off entirely. It's like, okay, well, we can't even really acknowledge it now. It's like, well, okay, hang on, it doesn't just go away, right? Like, let's say every Christian today agreed not to celebrate Jesus' birth for fear of incorporating some pagan ritual into it. Does that suddenly mean that it all goes away? Or does it just mean that we lose the very small amount of influence that Christians have in the world today? Right? We have to acknowledge the fact that while things are getting a little better, I would argue,
Hmm.
Christianity is still very much in a problematic position in that we do not have a foothold in the popular culture. We do not have a foothold in the West like we used to. And we are struggling to keep our heads above water in some sense. But in a to then give up what little moments we have, what little still like cultural stake that we have, right? Like, I have a coworker, nice girl, uh, who admitted to me this past week that she is a creaster, right? And so we often like to poke fun at creasters in the Christian community, um, because let's just face it, there's a lot of material there. No, I'm kidding. Um, no, but we like to poke fun at it. But at the very least, it shows something about the culture, the Western culture, that people still acknowledge at least twice a year who God is, and that He came down, incarnated, died, and rose again for us. That's what that means, right? Going to church on Christmas and Easter. Even if you only go on those days, you are acknowledging that God was born of a virgin, incarnated through the Holy Spirit in accordance with the Father's will. And then if you go again on Easter, you are acknowledging that He was crucified for your sins, conquered death, rose from the grave, and handed you new life. That's what you're acknowledging when you're going to church on those days.
Yeah.
So to cut off entirely this celebration and this remembrance, we are called in many places to remember the events of Christ's life. That's what the Gospels are, right? They are remembrances of the life of Jesus on earth, so that we can then follow suit and pursue Him into heaven. We are called to remember things. We are called to observe things. I read a very interesting article this week on it was the influence of stones on Christianity, like stones
Interesting.
found throughout the gospel. So you
Okay.
have the rock of Golgotha, and you
Mm.
have the stones in Gethsemane, and you have the various stones like on the Mount of Olives. It was interesting to read that, and the author's point was something that I agreed and disagreed with. I agreed with Christians placing too much significance on earthly things, but I disagreed that it means we shouldn't remember the actual places, right? The
Mm-hmm.
actual like physical places, because then I think we run the risk of running into Docetism, which
Sure.
states, Christ didn't have a physical body. There was nothing significant about the actual incarnation. The incarnation itself is hugely important. It is as Michael Knoll says, it is the pivotal moment in history, and I think he's right about that.
Oh yeah.
Right? It's when God, in His infinite love and mercy, gives up so much of Himself and of all of the things that He is entitled to come and be born as the most vulnerable possible thing. Right? He could have appeared like poof, but instead he chooses to be a baby in the womb and then chooses to grow as an actual human being does.
He
That is
chooses to be
mind-boggling.
he chooses to be king. Like he's king and comes down in the most humble way that is completely foreign to the entire idea of political structure, kingdoms, empires, all these things.
Mm-hmm.
Completely 180'd it.
Yep.
And he's the most important historical figure. I mean, if you want to ignore the religious aspect, it's hard to do that. And I would
Right.
say that you're missing so much truth. But even if you forgo that, he's still the most impactful historical figure ever. The impact that he
Right.
has had from the first century all the way today in all societies, and the fact that other religions try to pull from his teachings still to bring it into his. Even
Mm-hmm.
atheists sometimes try to take some of his teachings into theirs, and you can't deny that there is something extremely impactful. It's that same thing. Like, yes, people still treat Jesus regarding his name and a variety of things like garbage. Um,
So,
but
yeah, sorry, you mentioned his name there. This is something that I've really been kicking around because a lot of my coworkers take the Lord's name in vain, and so I've started like kind of calling them on it a little bit. Right? Like, let's say they take the name of Jesus in vain. I'll go, "Hey, I know that guy." I'm like gesture to my cross, and they'll always go, "Ah, yeah." But I always want to say to them every time, "Why is that the name you use?"
yeah,
If it's just, if you could say any name, why do you keep using that one? Right? If they're all the same, if there is no power in that name, why do you do it? Why do you use it?
they would be very quickly to come after you if you stub your toe and go, "Oh, Muhammad!" But if
Right.
it's culturally acceptable to use Jesus' name.
Right, but you never would with Muhammad though,
No, you
because
wouldn't.
there's no power in his name.
No. But yeah. So we're gonna play around a lot with the whole like so what kind of question. I mean, we're gonna get to our Christmas stream, like our actual like, hey, we're just gonna chill and celebrate Christmas via live stream a week early. We'll kind of get more into like the applications of Christmas to our lives today, especially from the week beforehand. But you guys are here for some fun watching us have aneurysms as people make some really weird videos that I'm very certain are all AI scripted and written. Which, by the
Probably.
way, I forgot to mention. I think I was going this direction before. Said this in Halloween. I'll say it now too. Uh,
Good.
try to avoid using the Lord's name in vain.
Amen.
Amen. Always a good way to go. Let me just say this right now. When you go Google this kind of stuff, I was interesting how if you put in something like "Is Christmas Pagan," at least in my search, I come across a lot of Christian sources debunking that because that's a specific
Hmm.
angle as being and word choices being used. And
Yes.
so when you go to Google AI, it will be give you all these reasons for, or whatever AI you're using, it'll sometimes give you all these reasons for why it's not pagan. Depends on the search engine, depends on what your most recent lookups stuff are. Like it plays into that a
Right.
little bit. But if I change my vocabulary, it then will give me a different answer. So I
Hmm.
say this with like the whole idea of like we're gonna be talking about things like on the internet that clearly are just historically null and void. They're not good. But I'm not here to say that everything on the internet is bad. I mean, we're here on the internet. I would say that we provide okay-ish work. Um,
From time to time.
you know, all to say is when we are looking things up, I had a pastor tell me to say always look at more than one source. I wish he would do the same thing sometimes because he didn't look at enough sources. But then look at the source list of the source list.
Yeah.
We talked about this with the Halloween video. There's a Wikipedia page where they have like 100 plus sources. Half of them are sources referenced by the guys that we referenced or were the guys we referenced, all saying that Halloween isn't pagan. And their whole argument is that Halloween was pagan. So be aware of the sources, be aware of those things, be aware that Google AI, I mean, it's great, it's cool, the Google searches are cool. It plays into an algorithm based on word choice, and it's basically the world's biggest control F.
Yep.
And so it's going to be searching for the exact things you're looking for. And so therefore you need to be able to play with different word choices, go on scholarship, like Google Scholar, JSTOR, a variety of other things, and be aware that not everything is found on the internet because public domain, there's copyright law that protects people's work from going to public domain and not getting the money that they've worked hard for in doing their research. So like we're gonna be, I just fixed our description. We have all of our sources from last time and this time down below.
Nice.
All of them, well, not all the book ones are not going to be found in your Google search because they're not public domain.
Right.
They're not this text you can find. They're ones you have to borrow or purchase or see if there's a legal copy somewhere that you can download. But Google's still not going to pull it up.
You actually have to do more than 30 seconds of work. I know that's scary. I know. But it's okay. It's all right. You'll make it. You'll live.
But then if you want some quick sources, down below are also references to a bunch of videos by Mike Winger, by Wes Huff, by Inspiring Philosophy. IP's done a lot of videos on this. He's well researched on this. Wes Huff is a historian. And Mike Winger, I mean, Caleb already mentioned him, and he has just some good, like, here, let me just grant you this. So
Miguel.
all right. So I found this one video. We're not going to watch the whole thing, I don't think. It's 14 minutes long. And there's just a lot here that we can just kind of deal with. And we have 2 other weeks we'll be talking about Christmas and paganism. We have plenty of time to cover like everything else they do in the video / other people talk about in the same videos. So let's do like a couple of them. So yeah, let's get rolling. You can tell right away, by the way, you're gonna see when I pull it up that it's already off to a rough start.
I anticipated it to be.
You'll see why.
Oh my. Hi, pal. Okay, this is Grace Digital Network. This is a fairly big channel.
I know, 2.17 million. I was looking through his stuff. Again, I'm going to point this out. You go in here. They give you all their who does what. Scripture, what translations. Cool. Not a single source.
Right.
And description. IP has a couple of videos where he doesn't have stuff in the description, but he makes it in the video. Or he references a video that has all the sources.
Right.
Wes Huff does the same. They're not there in the description because he knows you're probably not going to search there, but in the video, they're there because you know you're watching that. So be mindful of the fact that they're using a AI-generated video, by the way, and that does not cover squat or really cite anything, especially primary or even historians today. Just notice that. Anyway.
The Hidden History of Christmas, Bible and Pagans. We are looking at the history of Christmas and its pagan origins, and how this all connects to the biblical story of Jesus' birth. How could this even be possible? Although Christmas may look like a pure Christian holiday, just recently it was not so. In fact, it was just the opposite. We will seek to uncover the true depths of how influential...
I know.
How
That's
recently are we talking? How recently are we talking?
I don't... Here's the thing. There's a couple Christmas traditions that are recent and shows that they don't have pagan origin. Or, as we'll talk about later, there's some things that are pagan friends develop after Christmas already is established, or are established after paganism is already long dead. But yeah, they don't really specify how recent.
Yeah,
things
well,
are.
it's interesting,
It just
right?
says,
Because
yeah,
the most recent, if you will, pagan connections usually made is Yule, which is 13th century.
yeah,
That's still,
which is
700 to 800 years ago. That's a long time.
it's a long time. And the other thing with like some of the Yule stuff, like one, there's either not really any true connection and we can actually find is just people saying stuff like medieval
Yeah.
Christians when they just wanted to get away from Christianity. Sorry, Christmas. Um, some of the
Mhm.
extreme Protestants definitely did this because they were trying to reject anything that was related to the Catholics, and
Yep. Yep.
so there was like forego anything that Catholics do, we don't do.
Zwingli
Um,
intensifies.
yep. But even like the Yule stuff, like they're gonna the first one they mention is gonna be the Yule log, and we'll see. We'll hear their
I
argument.
figured. I
We'll,
figured.
we'll hear that out, but we're gonna see immediately like, okay, I'll grant you Yule log, even though it's not really true. There's like I went through like, a bunch of different articles, and they were like, we can't really say it comes from paganism,
Hmm.
just because the etymology, just because the word's there, the word doesn't necessitate.
Right, because it used to
Okay.
be a Christmas log and then became a Yule log.
Right,
So,
but you're gonna see also in the video a, hey, look, it's became this, and it's like, oh, this logic is just bad. Um, I'll let it get there.
Pagan cultures is still influencing the world. And we will uncover to you all the surprising truths that we found. To understand
Truth with no sources.
the roots of Christmas, we need to travel back in time, long before the birth of Christ. Imagine ancient Europe. Cold, dark, and harsh winters ruled the land. Life wasn't easy, and every year, people faced a daunting challenge, making it through the season of scarcity. But amidst the struggle, there was hope. Hope that the sun, their source of life and warmth, would return stronger. This hope gave birth to traditions we still see today. In the northern regions, the celebration of Yule
I
marked the
have to
winter
say,
solstice. On the darkest night of the
the
year, they
the
lit
AI is painful. Like, I don't know why we shifted so hard to everything must be AI now. Well, I do know why, because human beings are naturally lazy and look for shortcuts, but my goodness, dude, it's rough.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah.
obviously do
Matt
not use AI like at all, which is painfully obvious because of how bad my script writing is, um, and
The only
the
thing we use
fact that
AI for is Riverside's like
right, like
Riverside has a function where it
we'll use
catches up
AI
to our
to help
pauses.
us like pick out clips and stuff, but I'm saying like
Yeah, and to
for
clean things
script
up.
writing and recording, it's all
Oh, yeah.
us,
It's just us.
and
It's just us. It's painfully obvious.
yeah, exactly, it's painfully obvious, but like it doesn't take us that long, right? Like comparatively, okay, well, it takes Josh a long time to edit, but it like how long on average would you say it takes you to write a script for like our Friday videos? For
Um,
like our Friday videos, the script itself.
depends on the script. I would say how about the let's not do Council of Jerusalem. That was quick and easy because I was very familiar with that one. Let's pick one. Was Ephesus. Total hours. It probably took me 3 hours because of research and writing
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
But with our logo software, I'm able to condense my research time with that quite a bit.
yeah.
But because of my schedule, probably like 2 days.
Right, but compiling the hours together,
Right. So like 3, 4 hours maybe.
yeah, like that's not that much, right?
Yeah,
In the
because those
grand
videos are
scheme of
like
things,
short
right? In the
too.
grand scheme of things, so like if we're doing one of our classes, for example, that come out Wednesdays, that can take anywhere. That can take like compiling all the time together, like a week to 2 weeks. But in terms of actual like shorter content, like actual videos like this, it's a couple hours. It's 5 hours at most. I think is
Yeah.
the most I've ever spent on like a Friday video.
Yeah.
So,
I think for the
and that was
longest
just a
one I
martyr.
spent was probably definitely for the classes, and I'm still writing it. That's why. That one's taking me months. Just do my schedule, but
Yeah.
still, it's
Right.
it's not like it's not doable.
Exactly.
And like you don't have to. I've noticed this too on analytics. People tend to gravitate more towards ones where you actually can see the person you're talking to
Hmm.
because it feels like you're
Well,
having a conversation with them.
right. And so I guess my point is for a channel like this, which has over 2 million subscribers, you have zero excuse to use AI. You have no excuse because this would be your full-time job.
Yeah.
Right? This would be enough to employ multiple people full-time versus two
Yeah.
guys sitting in their respective recording studios, which are their bedroom and their living room, who put in probably the same amount of hours that you would do writing a script, but also go ahead and record.
And we're
It-
not
it-
monetized.
and we're not monetized. It would be so easy for us to just do AI. It probably would improve my scripts, truthfully. But we don't because we actually want to put time and effort into the ministry. And I'm not trying to just crap on what's this one called again? Is Grace something?
I don't know. I can't remember what it's called. Um,
Um,
show
doesn't
me.
matter. I'm not trying to crap on
I'll
these
find
people.
it. Oh, here we go. Grace Digital
Grace
Network.
Digital Network. I'm not trying to crap on them. I'm really not. But like to crap on them a little bit.
Like, come now.
I think it says a lot that you're willing to take the shortcut of AI, given that I think I'm sorry, I should say it this way. Taking the shortcut of AI is clearly not the only shortcuts they've taken. Right? Like given what we're watching, the AI seems to be the smallest shortcut taken. Because the claims being made here are, as Josh pointed out, being made without sources, without actual reliable information to back it up. So, I don't know. That's the thought I was having. It's like, wow, this is A, not even great quality AI, and B, is so indicative of the level of research that went into this.
Yeah. All right. So they're almost about there to make their Yule log argument, and then I'll hop off the sharing screen. We can talk about Yule log a little bit and just the problems.
Cool beans.
Massive bonfires to honor the sun and keep its memory alive. Families brought home enormous logs, the famous Yule logs, and kept them burning as a symbol of light overcoming darkness. Sound familiar? That's the origin of the Yule log tradition we hear about today.
Pause. All right. Here's why I wanted to pause. They share the Yule log today as the dessert. The
Okay,
dessert.
Firstly, that looks so good. Dude.
It
I might
does.
just
It
be
looks
fat,
great.
but that looks pretty dang good.
But come on, you're talking about the dessert in correlation with burning firewood.
Right, and what's funny to me, really funny to me, is go back and listen to the description there. What about that is inherently pagan?
Nothing.
It's
Nothing.
a symbol of
Because here's
light
the
overcoming darkness. Hang on, isn't
That's Christianity.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure in John 1 there's a little something about light overcoming darkness.
He's the light of the world. I don't know. Or like, here's the other thing too. People used wood to keep themselves warm in the winter. But clearly, correlation
Is causation.
automatically means causing. Therefore, clearly, because we had to use firewood before we had heating systems, in the same way that the pagans did.
My fireplace is literally going right now.
But it's like, come on now.
man.
First off, from this research I've gone through, you don't find that the Yule log really stems from Yule specifically. because
Yeah.
Yule even isn't totally agreed to be a holiday, as also
Right.
kind of a time that reflects the winter. Um,
But let's
sure,
grant that it is.
let's
Right?
grant
Like,
that it is, because you're gonna find sources, you're gonna find people who say it is. And like I said, it's not agreed upon both ways. It's like it could be, it might not be.
right.
So what? They had to burn wood for heat and for light. Well, we do the same thing when you go camping. We do the same thing when we have a fireplace. My grandparents have a fireplace. I mean, sorry, no, it's actually more of a, so it's a different kind of heating system. But they use like those like little kettle things you put in there. Um,
Hmm.
our
Your
ancestors
grandparents are
had,
pagans, Josh.
I know, our ancestors had to use firewood during the winter.
Hmm.
And it was a reminder for some of them about the light of Christ or about the warmth that God has provided in the resources, etc., etc. Oh, by the way, the description you then decide to go with next is the freaking dessert. Yes, me making a little cake and cutting it up, clearly tied to paganism.
Which, okay, so I do want to know if I make the cake in the shape of a log in the middle of the month of May,
Hmm.
and I put frosting on it, and then I cut it and serve it, did I just commit a pagan ritual?
Yes, because of the fertility holidays in the spring. That the force gods
Of course,
had
of
them
course,
made sacrifice to the bunnies so that way they could have heat. Because bunnies are a sign of fertility because
of course, because
they
they
would.
bang a lot. Yeah,
They would.
you're welcome for that.
It's like, okay, again, let me grant you Yule log because name. Even though it was named Christmas log before Yule
Yeah,
log, and oh, by the way, Christmas, Christ, it's the first
mass.
word.
Yep,
Very Christian based. Let me grant you that. Is a dessert. You're not worshiping anyone. You're not burning it. You're not remembering the light of it. It's a cake. And secondly, if you did, um, if you're burning it, you're probably burning it for heat. And here's the question: if your concern is about worship, uh, if I'm throwing wood in the fire, am I automatically worshiping the sun god or whatever?
of course.
Like again, okay, I want to recognize there are people who have their personal convictions. Fine, fine. I'm not saying you have to do these things. I'm not saying you have to like the Yule log dessert. I'm not saying you have to light a fire. But are we seriously going to make this argument? Like, come on. This is. If we're going to say everything that correlates with another. Here's the thing. If we're going to say that if it correlates with the pagan religion, here's the thing. You can't wear clothes. You
Yep.
can't live. You can't breathe. You can't die either.
Hitler drank water too. You
You
know.
can't drink water. My favorite one I kind of thought about today. You can't live and you can't die because they live and die. You just can't exist. Um, you can't do anything really.
And the pagan gods didn't exist, so you can't do that either.
Oh yeah, you can't do that either. Or like, here's the thing: if you're gonna go the whole was not in the Bible, you can't drive your car,
Yep.
can't have a house.
Well, that
You
one.
nope, those were tents. Those were tents.
There were
Different.
some houses.
Fine,
There were some houses.
fine. Because they refer to the house of, but they're talking about the family of. They don't necessarily always
No,
talk
I
about.
know. Well, like I think of like Zacchaeus.
Okay, fine. Nope, nope. Sorry, he was clearly the sinful. Oh wait, that's like a Pharisee right now.
Yeah. No, but like yeah,
You can't do anything.
you can't drive your car. You know, you can't use like a debit card or anything like that. You
Can't
can't use
drink
paper
coffee. You
money.
coffee lovers.
I don't drink coffee.
I know. I'm saying as a person who doesn't like coffee. Checkmate. You can't drink coffee.
Checkmate, libs. You can't drink coffee. Oh man.
But be aware of the core. Be aware, like, okay,
Right.
if there's an actual tie, like, oh, what was it? There was a Deuteronomy passage that one person tried to use along with it was kind of like the Jeremiah one about how like you can't don't do any things that they're also doing. The context is talking about like doing these things in regards, especially like one immoral acts like child sacrifice.
Yeah.
in regards to actually worshipping some other thing.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: if we actually have a practice today that is not even just like, let's say it correlates with paganism, okay, sure, whatever, doesn't just correlate, but it actually comes from it, and it's a immoral thing. Like, and not even just like, hey, we could turn this around for Christianity. I mean, like, it's immoral no matter how you do it.
Yeah. Coughs and abortion.
Sure. Let's say it was some kind of ritual for Christmas regarding an abortion. There is no justification to that. We should not do that. I will 100% agree with you there. But the Yule log, I'm sorry. Just because someone else worshipped the fire doesn't mean that everyone who made a fire in the winter with the log is a pagan. And just because you make a dessert in the shape of a log and then you cut it up and it tastes great doesn't mean you're engaging in pagan worship.
Yeah.
And even if it descended from there, one, there's nothing immoral about lighting a fire and eating a cake. What's your heart posture about it? Are you actively, is it causing you to sin, like struggle with your relationship with the Lord? Okay, fine, then that's a sin for you.
Right.
But if it's
1
not,
Corinthians 8.
yeah, but like if your heart posture is not in the posture of like going to worship something else, or your mind's on something like you're just eating the cake, or you're like, thank the Lord God for providing the resources to have this food or to have
Dude, I
this
thank
eat.
the Lord God for cake all the time.
I can
I'm
tell.
on one tonight, man. Okay. All right. All right. Hey, actually, I've been intermittent fasting this week, so
I'm
that's
basing
been
it
nice.
off of the comment you recently made in one of your videos where you said, dude, that dude's fat. And you're referring to yourself.
Yeah. No, I used to be quite chunky. But yeah, no, I'm intermittent fasting for Advent.
Nice.
Not for any like, hey, this is some ritual thing. It's like, well, I'm a little bit heavier than I want to be. So,
Let's see a couple more of these from this channel.
but then I'm not going to intermittent fast on Christmas. I plan to be as diabetic as possible on Christmas Day.
Plan to feast.
Yeah.
Plan to feast like the Grinch.
Yeah, instead of intermittent fasting, I will be intermittent feasting.
Well, Caleb, I have to warn you.
Ramadan will have nothing on me.
I have to warn you. Later in this video, that's pagan.
I bet it is. I bet it is. All right, let's get into it.
Let me pull it back up.
Saturnalia.
Okay, pause already. I just need to pause there. Just need to pause there already. Caleb, can you remind everyone from our last video the actual dating of Saturnalia and Sol Invictus in relation to Christmas?
They are not. It's not even like close to. Not even in the same week. So, Saturnalia. Oh my gosh, Saturnalia is early December. Well, it gets moved later on to early December and is a week-long festival. It then is moved closer to Christmas. It is then moved after Christmas and is a week-long festival. It is never on December 25th.
Or 24th.
Or the 24th. At no point in any part of its history that we know of does Saturnalia fall on December 24th or 25th. That is impressive at that point. Because it goes all throughout the month of December, except for like those 2 days.
Let me just prove his point. I quickly looked it up just to like see if you were to look this up, you would find AI overview. Saturnalia was an ancient Roman festival celebrated from December 17th to the 23rd. Ignoring the fact that it moves around a lot and all those things.
Literally.
It's
right
still
before.
With everything else, it cuts off
Yeah.
before. It's not. just knowing ahead for other people are going to throw this one in there. Caleb, can you remind us when Sol Invictus is?
Not December 25th.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's not.
which date for Sol Invictus would you like? Would you like the one?
What?
I believe it's in May. Would you like the one that's in September? Did you want the one that's in November?
Quick thing on this.
How about the one in? I think there actually was one instance in October. Would you prefer that one?
Let me throw this out there. There's not a there's an argument that I more lean with based on the data, and I think you still lean with this based on I think it has more support for it for the actual December 25th dating.
Is this the conception?
That is, yeah. There's that. Um, there's not 100% certainty on like exactly how the Christians came up with this. There's nothing really that backs it, saying that it came from paganism, that they're trying to overtake it.
Yeah.
Just due to the dating. And any scholar, like I've read papers by scholars who say that, but when you look at the dating of the actual other holidays, they don't line up. So it's like you're just kind of playing with correlation, not actual what this is. But here's the thing. So one theory, and I find this interesting, I kind of run with this one a little bit because you do find sources of this. And I think, Caleb, you mentioned it from a church father last year. I have to look back and watch the video to remember which one it was. I think it was a church father talking about how there was a theory that, your holy people or prophets would die on the same day they were conceived. And so some of them theorized, the early church Christians, some of them theorized that he died on March 25th. And so therefore 9 months later, be December 25th. There's also some regions, I would throw that too, that celebrated on January 6th, pre the whole calendar shift.
The Orthodox still do.
Yeah. After the calendar shifted and days were removed from months and weeks to kind of simplify it, well, there's for those regions, the days that were removed brings them back to December 25th.
Yeah.
So,
excuse me.
Depending on the region you're in, there's different reasons how they come to this date. I think it was, I see it. I forgot. I think they did Easter is when they finalized, or was it Christmas they finalized? They finalized one of the holidays that they're going to be celebrating as a church. Like, here's the days we can all do it together. I can't remember which one it was. In our video, I explain which one it is. My brain's a little fried. But
Amen.
Similar to like the whole All Saints Day, there were different dates for different regions, and some of them shifted due to the great calendar shift, and some of them shifted from just because they're hypotheses regarding when Christ was born, when he was crucified, when he, like all these things, when he's conceived. And then you also have the fact that the calendar that came up after that shift already has Christmas marked in there, and it doesn't really mention any of the other pagan ones as like one it derives from or backing the arguments that these people are making. In fact, some historians have even argued that perhaps pagans actually shifted their schedule in competition with Christmas. And so you actually find some people are actually doing the exact opposite of what many of the skeptics are saying.
Yeah.
So we can't just jump to, because this holiday happened to be around it. Well, first off, some of them just because it's around it doesn't mean it's caused it. And secondly, some of them moved or changed traditions because it's in competition with the Christians. Just putting that out there.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Was a grand event
50
dedicated to
seconds in.
Saturn, the god of agriculture. It marked the end of the harvest and the beginning of winter rest. But Saturnalia was no quiet religious observance.
Okay, hang on.
It was a
Pause there for a
full-blown
second.
carnival. During
Yeah.
So Christmas is celebrated
spot
on
to
December
pause on.
25th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. At what point on the good Lord's green earth did you celebrate the harvest with 3 feet of snow on the ground? Oh my goodness, dude, what? What are you talking about? So right now, our area got hit pretty hard with snowfall.
Yeah.
And there is probably about 2 feet of snow out on the ground. Because Black Friday we got hit really hard, and then we got hit decently today as well. Their suggestion is 23 days later, after this, they celebrated the harvest. Josh, play the sound effect. You know the one.
Oh, yeah. I got you.
What?
Exactly. What? That is mind-boggling, right? They get the purpose of Saturnalia correct initially, right? Because Saturnalia is celebrated roughly around there, and then it moves later into December as the tradition goes on. And it becomes more about a feast celebrating the turn of the season rather than the harvest. But the fact that they just no thought went, oh yes, it is clearly a pagan inspiration of Christmas because they're celebrating the harvest. Hold up. The harvest is like 30 to 60 days before this event. What are you doing? What are you talking about? That is the dumbest thing.
We got some chats. We got a laughing face, and then that sound effect was amazing.
Thank you, thank you.
I need to make more of Caleb.
Just my unhinged.
I forgot to mention this too. Okay, we know that Christ wasn't born on December 25th. So yes,
Right.
the theory is like their hypothesis would be wrong. So
Mm.
why do we do it still? Because tradition and because
Tradition.
majority of the church does it, and it's gonna be kind of hard to convince the entire church to change the date
Yeah.
because you have to organize the global church minus the Orthodox to change the date.
Yeah, the Orthodox ain't going along with it, Chief. They are.
And
Although
Catholics-
actually, there is something we could talk about, which would be the Pope's call for unification with the Orthodox Church.
That'd be a good one to talk about.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Any hoozle?
During Saturnalia, social norms were flipped upside down. Masters and slaves traded places, and the streets were filled with laughter, singing, and celebration. Homes were decorated with greenery. People feasted until...
See, Caleb, your feasting is pagan. Pagan. Can't eat on Christmas. Can't eat. If you're going to eat on
Dang.
December 25th, you are a pagan.
Dang.
Just saying.
they couldn't eat another bite. And yes, they even gave gifts, just like we...
Okay. Okay. Okay.
The Jehovah's Witnesses were right. Got him.
I know they're not directly saying it in this video, but it's implied, and many people have made the exact argument. They've taken the implied and just made it explicit, and stating that gift giving is pagan.
You heard it here first, folks. God is pagan.
Because he gave the gift of the Son, as Paul states.
That in 1 Corinthians 12.
Yeah.
Paul doesn't say that we are, bestowed upon abilities. He says we are given gifts by the Spirit.
And, we're supposed to be charitable and giving to people, which would be a gift to people.
Right.
Like the gift, like sharing the gift of the gospel, sharing the gift of finances, sharing other things, or giving them things that show that you care for them. Me showing my girlfriend that I love her and buying her something that would mean something to her is pagan. Can't do it. Sorry, sweetheart. I can't do it for you anymore. You must never receive anything from me again.
The golf set that I got my child, pagan.
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 And then feasting until you couldn't eat anymore. Caleb, can't do it. You gluttonous pagan.
The first word, yes. The second word,
Just playing with the logic here. Again, this is correlation, not causation. If I were to take the same argument, I had this discussion with someone in our Halloween chat, saying, look, we can't even have scripture. You can't pray. You can't sing. You can't do anything in regards to religious practices because they do it too. Oh, by the way, Israelites, yes, different. I'm going to grant right now, I'm going to say that right now, they are different. They also made sacrifices, of which God commanded. Or again, different kind of sacrifices, but still. Like we gotta be aware of the word choices we're running with and the things we're saying, because you are either undermining life itself, which God created, you're undermining the text that we, cling to help us
which
understand
is
how to
God
worship.
breathed.
Yeah. Or you're undermining just who God is, period. Actually, no, all of those things. You're undermining who God is. Again, if you want to talk about things like orgies or child sacrifices or like idol worship, all these different things, of course, we do not want to practice those pagan things.
Boy,
Of
that
course.
escalated quickly.
I know.
I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
But things like gift giving, feasting, they're going to make an argument about the mistletoe, which is just, kissing your spouse, pagan. All these things, like other
Kissing a
traditions do
homeless
it. There was
goodnight.
one guy I read an article saying,
Pagan.
well, they decorate their houses with greenery. Yeah, so did every other culture ever when they had access to it.
Now,
What's
in
your
fairness,
point?
I don't decorate my house with greenery, but that's mostly because I kill everything that comes into this house.
Yeah. Like, guys, be aware of your arguments. There's some things there's a difference between like religious things that pagans practiced and just things that pagans did.
Yeah.
Pagans ate. So do you. Guess what? You can't eat anymore. I'm going to keep pointing that one out. We're only 2 minutes and 30 seconds in.
Yeah, we are not going to get through much more either, my dude.
No. How we just watch a little bit more. We'll talk about those things. I think it'll be a good place to stop. They're going to make some other arguments that we'll address from other videos and articles next week as well. We'll just watch a couple more just because I want to watch the bad AI.
We do today. Many of the decorations we associate with Christmas, holly, mistletoe.
I love when they said decorations, holly, they showed an old man.
Hang on. You know what I really love? The AI generated captions. Missile. Toe. You didn't notice that before, did you?
No, I didn't pay attention. Missile. So we clearly know that they're talking about a different kind of mistletoe we're
Exactly.
talking about.
The U.S. Army, pagan. Your foot, pagan.
According to AI captions.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what I'm talking about. If you are putting
Fixed in 2
this
seconds.
this lack of effort into your video, I can only assume you put the same amount of lack of effort into the research.
Okay, because here's the thing we have. They said holly, and the second they say holly and pagan, it shows an old man, which just made me laugh. Then it says missile, toe. I mean, look, I make mistakes in some of our videos. I've had a few of them I had to take down and fix, either because they didn't download properly and therefore they undid an edit, or I missed something. I was like, oh no, I gotta go fix that before more people see it, just so they can have the clean full video.
Yeah.
So I grant things like that happen. This is an easy fix that you should have noticed right away. There's a reason I don't do AI captions except for our shorts because I know they're really short, so I can just fix them really quick. But
Yeah.
longer videos, I don't want to deal with that. I don't have to fix every little error. So I just trust that you'll either throw on the YouTube ones or that you're actually going to listen because I trust that you know how to listen and how to use your ears.
Josh, that's very insensitive to our deaf viewers.
Oh, thank you. Sorry. I don't even. If you're deaf, I'm sorry. You can throw YouTube captions on.
I love that this is a live stream, therefore there's no comments, there's no closed captions, and you just apologize to the deaf people.
They'll have captions later.
I was going to say, who cannot hear you right now.
I don't know if they're watching right now.
Probably not. I don't think we have any deaf viewers.
Not that I know of. If you're deaf, let us know. I want to hang out.
This live stream is going downhill quickly.
But come on, man. This could have been fixed so quickly.
Yeah.
Like this, like again, sometimes things get by you. I don't know how you did this.
Such as mistletoes.
By you.
Dude, mistletoes. You know what I would do for some mistletoes?
Can you imagine the army launching missiles in the shape of toes?
Honestly, they're kind of already toe-shaped.
No, they send out a foot, and each toe fires off. Smallest to biggest. From the most aggressive.
Yep. The big toe is a nuclear warhead.
Yep.
All right. Well, now that we've
We'll
thoroughly mocked their AI, let's get back to it.
We do today. Many of the decorations we associate with Christmas, holly, mistletoe, and wreaths, come from these ancient traditions. They symbolized life and fertility during the bleakest time of year. But there's more to the story. In both the Northern Yule and the Roman Saturnalia, these festivals weren't just about survival. They were about letting loose, breaking free from the rules of daily life. And sometimes, this freedom went too far. These celebrations could get wild. It was a time to indulge in food, drink, and, well, other behaviors that wouldn't be considered appropriate the rest of the year. Some of this still survives
That escalated very quickly.
I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
today. Ever heard of kissing under the mistletoe?
Sorry, let us play out.
It's an echo of these ancient fertility customs. As Christianity spread, these celebrations didn't disappear. Instead, they were transformed. The church had a choice: reject these beloved traditions or give them a new meaning.
I'm Anthony Porofsky.
All right, with
and
the
I
ad popping in. All right.
Babe, come here. I want to do something pagan.
Kiss you under a branch.
I don't
Sorry,
need a
guys.
branch.
If you ever kissed
I
your...
don't need a branch.
Oh, I'm just saying, if you ever...
I'm
you
not
were
that
out in the-
particular.
out in God's glorious creation, and you're underneath a tree, and you kiss your wife or your husband if you're a woman, you're a pagan. Just saying. Okay, look, I understand. Like, look, there are some things I will grant that Christians have syncretized. I'm not going to reject that. That is factual. The Roman pantheon was taken and reappropriated and focused on Christian practices. That happened. That's fine. And here's the thing. I'm not against those things either, because why wouldn't we want to take out the things that are unholy and then repurpose them and focus them back on the Lord, especially when they can be redeemed?
Acts
You can
17.
redeem so many things. Sure, you let's just take the one I've already used. It'll escalate. Child sacrifice. The way you redeem that is you stop doing it. But like a building, you can repurpose an entire building.
Right.
You can repurpose a tradition.
Our church is literally a repurposed shopping center.
Yeah. Mistletoe, by the way, just due to time and my ability to stay focused, it's not pagan in origin. Go check out IP's video and Westhouse video. They go over that briefly. Maybe if you want us to explain it, remind me next time or check the information down below. Just really quick and short, it's not in origin. But again, even if it was, sorry that kissing my girlfriend for me or Caleb with his wife underneath a branch. Oh wait, I guess you're supposed to do. You're supposed to love your wife, and you're supposed to love your husband and you females, and you're supposed to create children if you're married and all those things. Um,
Amen. Amen.
Again, yes, there are awful things that pagans did, awful things that Christians in the name of Christ has done. I mean, you can question if they actually were Christian or not, but people have done awful names in the name of Christ. There have
Well,
been some syncretized things.
yeah.
But come on, some of these things that are listed here, decorations? Are you kidding me? There's gonna be, all right, they didn't mention this one in the video, and I'll just do this really quickly, because we mentioned it before. Christmas trees themselves, there's 3 different arguments on where they probably stem from. Not a single one of them are pagan.
Jeremiah 10.
One is the legend about Martin Luther cutting down this tree, and then and this kind of whole stuff, and because they remind me of the Lord. There's Boniface, where he does something very similar, and he puts a star on it. And the one that I think is probably more likely, because it has decoration also involved, is based on the fact that early Christians
Play.
had a play that they would do that was based on the Garden of Eden, and they would decorate the trees that they would call paradise trees with apples and a variety of other things, kind of like the bulbs that we put on our trees and stars and other things to reflect all these variety of things. All of them were Christian, whichever one you want to pick. All of them are Christian practices, or come
Right.
from a Christian.
Right. And my favorite thing there was them saying that, oh, they used holly and stuff like that. And it's like, right, because they wanted to decorate and it's the middle of winter. There's not really a lot of colorful options. They can't run to the local Home Goods, guys. Like their options are that bush over there or some snow. And the snow melts. So we're going to go with the bush.
I think we forget that. Yes, when we're talking about the Middle East, you probably, depending on where you're reaching, you might not get as many seasons because they're closer to the equator and all those like heat abilities.
Pardon me.
But we're talking about like a lot of our Christmas traditions come from like Europe. Well, they get the 4 seasons. They're experiencing winter and fall and all those things. And so is areas of Africa, and so are areas of Asia. Like we have places across the world. It's not just North America that experiences the 4 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And there's places in North America and other countries and other continents that don't experience the 4 seasons. I think a lot of people, when they think of anything that's outside of here, towards the Middle East or Africa or Asia, they kind of just go, oh, desert. And it's like uncivilized culture. And it's like, maybe not actually actively thinking that, but we almost kind of like treat it like it's that.
Right.
Or like,
Yeah.
they don't have these things. We're the ones that have snow. And it's like, no, I've been to
The
Europe.
Middle East was not always a desert. It used to be very plentiful and beautiful.
Yeah. Like, they experience the seasons. They experience these other things. A lot of our traditions come from Europe because we, as a country, migrated over here from Europe when when they were trying to leave like the Catholic Church and a variety of other things when they moved over from Europe to the United States. Like a lot of those practices come over, and some of them they completely reject because they want to have no association with the Catholic Church, and some of them they kept because like it was one, it didn't really matter what branch you're in, or it was kind of like, hey, this has just been our culture.
Right, it's our way of life.
Why would we? And again, like, look, again, I grant there are things that Christians have syncretized. Some of them, they syncretized not because they were pagan, but it was like, it was part of their culture. It's like, hey, this is a cultural thing. Why don't you now just praise God, like Jesus Christ, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, the triune God, for these things over this? And you can keep doing it and celebrate because they're not bad things. Or they were bad things. Like I said, they were worshiping this as one building. Well, let's repurpose the building to be focused on Yahweh. And there are things like, no, this is bad. Hey, you're doing this thing that God has declared is not good. It's sinful. Not even just like impure, but it's like it's actually sinful. Get rid of that, because then you can become closer to walking like Christ. And it's like, early Christians weren't dumb. They knew what they were doing. They knew where the lines were and how to handle things. They knew how to cut off certain things and how to leave certain things, and they knew when it was like, no, we didn't spawn this. And here's the thing: there were so many nations and so many religions. You don't think that some of them would be close in dating? It's kind of like your video that you're going to be seeing on Saturday. You made this whole argument at the end. It's not really a spoiler, but about how like, look, just because they're just like a bunch of other people are probably making this exact same video right now, and people in the future are going to make the same video right now. Does that mean I copied them or they copied me? No, it doesn't mean that unless you have actual proof that they're doing that very thing.
Don't
I'll tell you
spoil
right
my
now,
conclusion, bro.
there are some videos that we do or some styles we do that are inspired by people like David Wood, Inspiring Philosophy, Bible Project, Mike Winger.
Yeah, that video that I did where it was Muslims love Adolf Hitler, it didn't really get any views, and I was really sad by it. That was very much inspired by D. Wood.
Like, and same thing with like music. Like, I've worked on writing stuff before, and you can hear my influences. You can hear the people that I'm the most impacted by, and the things, and the way I play, and the way I write. You
Because
can
that's
see that,
how human beings work.
right? But it doesn't mean that I'm copying them, and that's like the closest you'll get. Or even then, this. There are some people who just have similar styles. Like,
Yeah.
there are people who have never heard of. First, let's take Mike Winger again. The people who have never heard of Mike Winger, who are probably using the exact same argument that Caleb presented from Mike Winger about at what point to become pagan, or they have a similar presentation style, or they have a
Right.
similar view on different things.
There are arguments that I have used throughout my life that I did not hear used, and I just kind of developed them because they're naturally proceeding arguments, right? You think through something and you go, okay, well, that makes sense and if I go about it this way. And then you'll come across somebody, like a few months later, and they'll make that argument. You'll be like, oh, all right, cool. So I'm not the only one who thinks this. I mean, that's how arguments develop, right? You find out that people think a similar way to you and are using the same arguments as you, and that's how an argument becomes widely known, right?
Right.
It's not generally just one person who comes up with something and then spreads it out.
Well, like let's take the decoration thing for instance. Like, let's forget like the area they're in. People decorate with the things they have access to.
Right.
So like, forget like seasons for a second. I see this pretty flower outside, or a bunch of them, and let's say it was in the future, and future wife wanted to have something nice in the house, something that was natural. You bring in one of the flowers from there because you have a bunch outside. They'll keep growing. They'll be fine. But you want to bring it to the kind of bring some nature into the house. Okay, someone else down the road, across the world, is probably doing the exact same thing.
Right.
Therefore, but if they're pagan and I'm Christian, therefore, if they did it first, even though I didn't really get it from them or hear about it from them or whatever, clearly, or the person down the road, clearly that means I'm pagan. That's the argument. That's the argument.
Yep.
I think we made the point here. There's
I would
more.
agree.
There's more, and we're gonna get to it next week. I'll give you a little taste.
Lord
Santa is pagan. As you probably can see if you look ahead at our future lives, you'll see Santa versus Odin. That'll be a fun time. And then Caleb can explain his joke further. All right, but for now, let's get out of presentation mode. Anyone else in the chat? I know we've had some people in and out. If anyone in the chat, they want to throw in any comments, questions, roasts. Doesn't have to be related to this topic at all. Just anything you guys want to throw in there.
Roasts. That's a dangerous door to open up, my friend.
We only have 2 people watching right now. I'm not concerned. Probably should check Twitch, actually. Sometimes it doesn't come through on my end. But yeah, how about this? We got 5 minutes left of what we usually do. If nothing comes in, then we'll hop off. But if things come in, even as one person, we'll have fun for those 5 minutes.
Yeah, man.
Anything. Camera quality is fixed. Probably
You
do
can
the
no
internet
longer be
capture.
blurry, man.
Okay, so I uh got on my t-shirt making craze, and I still get into it every once in a while for our store. I was trying to find one to make for our stupid names, but Slapping Hose is not making it. I can't think of a way to do that. And Blurry Man, you just changed my name to Ho. Are you kidding me right now? So slapping. All right. Who's the other hoe that you're slapping?
To be determined.
Okay. Anyways, I hope y'all have a good Christmas this year. You too, man.
Appreciate that.
Christmas. I'm hoping. Okay, as a music teacher, I'm hoping we don't get school canceled tomorrow because my kids are not ready for the concert. They're not ready at all. But I'm hoping that the snow kind of sticks because I do love me a good snowy Christmas. They're
Oh yeah,
just
for sure.
my dad is the whole once it can go once it should be gone until the 24th, and then it leaves after 25th. I'm one of those like at least be there for that week. At least be there for that week,
Yep.
and I'll be happy.
See, I got a kid, so I would love for the snow to stick around because snow is a lot of fun for her to play in. She's like really hitting that age too, where
Yeah.
it's going to be a great time for her. So my hope is that it sticks around, and then I'm gonna go out back and like build her a snow fort.
Just saw my name.
Move along, move along. Nothing to see here. Oh,
But yes, you too. I hope you have a great Christmas this year. We'll
you as
probably say
well.
that every
Chaos,
stream.
yes.
Um, I got to so my puppies, is you've met them. You know they're mini golden doodles. They're not even
Yes.
8 months old yet. They're small. I they really wanted to go outside today, so I took them outside, and they were winded.
I
I'll
bet.
probably
Yeah.
maybe I show a picture next time because the snow is bigger than them, so they're having to jump when they're chasing each
Mm-hmm.
other the entire time. I'll show a picture next time. But it catches into their curly hair and balls up, so it looks
Oh.
so it looked like they were like in casts because of the amount of snow, and they couldn't see because the snow just completely covered their face.
Yeah.
And because they're kicking snow up against each other while they're running, they're inhaling all the snow and coughing it up, and it was just you felt bad for them, but it was just really funny and cute
Yeah.
watching them
Yeah.
get just struggle with it. Uh, my goodness, yeah, yeah. Hoshua, I I need to find a way to remove your ability to change names.
Says you, of
What are
all
you talking
people.
about? What are you talking about?
Don't, 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 don't. I knew it. I knew that was coming.
Gay Monkapiro. I don't remember what why it was Monkapiro. I remember the Ben Shapiro. But I remember the monk part.
Yeah, I have no idea. Well, I'm thinking it was monkey related.
Probably. I don't know why.
I don't think I'm being a monk anytime soon. Well, folks, it's
What?
been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun.
Sounds like a duck, like an angry duck.
I'm one of those things right now.
A duck.
Thank you all so very much for watching. Really appreciate it. I can't speak for Josh because I don't think he has any brain cells left at this point.
What?
But we appreciate you watching. We would really appreciate if Josh would stop doing that. But we would also appreciate if you left comments down below on your thoughts of Christmas traditions. What's your favorite one? You know, I mean, mine is getting so wasted on eggnog. And by the way, non-alcoholic eggnog. I mean, just chugging a half gallon of like store brand hood eggnog underneath the table and just passing out. That would be my personal favorite tradition because I'm fat and have problems. Josh, yours?
Um, it can be stressful, but one of the ones I really like is when my family all gets together, an extended family, and we just kind of chill together.
Sure,
for
just
some
show
time.
me up like that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you're welcome. We got some in the comments. My favorite is watching.
Yo.
watching Christmas Vacation on Christmas Eve.
I love Christmas Vacation.
That's a fun movie.
That is top 3 Christmas movie for me. I
Yeah.
love that movie.
Yeah, for my
I grew
family,
up
it
on
would
that
be
movie.
we would do for my dad's sister, they would quote Rudolph from beginning to end.
Okay.
Grinch,
Rudolph's good.
Elf.
Classic. Can't go wrong with Grinch. I'm not a huge elf guy. I'm not.
I am back and forth. It's really more my sister, my dad who really love it.
Hmm.
I like sometimes like it, sometimes I'm annoyed by it. Um, Polar Express for my dad, and Charlie Brown
Ooh.
Christmas for my dad. Primarily.
Okay.
I mean,
Yep.
I
So
like all
Charlie
those
Brown
too.
Christmas is number 2 for me. And
I
then
like all of
for
those, but
right.
he's definitely the one who like really like pushes for those specific ones.
Yeah. For me,
Um,
if I had to do like a top 5, it'd be probably 5 would probably be Polar Express. I do
okay,
love Polar Express.
that's a good one.
Um,
A little creepy looking, but fun.
pretty creepy, but kind of like that early 2000s Pixar animation. Yes, thank you, Chaos. I'm getting there. Hang on, I'm getting there. Uh, then 4 probably the original Grinch.
That's a good one.
3 would be, what did I say? 3? Oh, Christmas Vacation. 2
Yeah.
is Charlie Brown, and then number 1 is Year Without a Santa Claus. I
Mm.
freaking love that movie. I don't know why, but I love that movie. It's not like particularly good or like particularly like well made.
I dislike that
It's
movie
just
so much.
I know most people are like it's whatever, and I'm like no, it is the greatest Christmas movie. I love it so much.
Chaos mentioned Santa Claus is coming to town is on Peacock. That is a fun one.
That's
Uh,
another good one. It's classic. Can't go
that's a
wrong with it.
classic. Santa Claus is
Although
also good. The first one.
the Tim Allen one,
Yeah, I like the
I hate
first
those
one.
movies. I hate those movies so
I don't
much.
like the ones after, but I like the first one.
I despise no, even the original. I cannot stand it.
Well,
It's actually my wife's favorite Christmas movie.
it's not my favorite,
It's
but
the
it's
Santa
a cool movie.
Claus.
No, but no, for church, like there's a lot of things I like to do, but like I remember when I was younger, we used to like get together Christmas Eve after church.
Hmm.
We all go to church together, and then we get together after church, and then we get together the next day for Christmas, either at my place or my grandparents' place. Um, so that's always been fun. Then again, there's times where it's been stressful. But those are probably the ones I have the most memories, and then the
Yeah.
other ones are kind of like I just remember we do them every year, and they're fun, but when we get together and then I get to roast my cousins because they think they're better at ping pong than I am, and they suck pretty badly. It's a good time.
For me, it's going to be splitting time between the in-laws and my parents. Just because, that
I
whole
don't look
marriage
forward to
life,
having. I don't
you got to
look forward
bounce
to
back and
figuring that
forth.
out since that, assuming that the in-laws I would
Yeah.
have would be with my current girlfriend. They are in Pennsylvania, and my family's here. We have to switch states. You always have
Yeah.
both in the same state,
This is true.
very
Yeah.
close to each other.
Also
Mine
true.
will not
Yeah.
be. So that's gonna be a tough time figuring that one out.
Hmm.
But anyways, I think what we'll do is we're gonna hop off for the night, and Lord willing, we will see you live again on Thursday. We're gonna be watching. I mean, I already watched all of it, so I know what parts we can be
I
more
haven't
beneficial
watched
for the
any
stream.
of it.
Good. So it'll be good. It'll be a real,
Okay.
true reaction
All
for
right.
you and more of a response for me. I wanted to get ahead, so I had a better idea of where we could actually watch, so it wasn't feeling
But
we had to skip around
it's
and look for things.
it's my boy.
It's IP versus
Y-
Richard
It's
Carrier.
versus my boy. Yeah. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
So if you've made it this far into the stream, quick updates. So tomorrow we have part 2 of our Chaos Monsters class. Tomorrow, Thursday, Lord willing, we will have our reaction / response to that debate. Masterful work on IP's part. I want to see if you guys kind of notice what he does in that debate that other people don't
Okay.
really do enough of. Friday, it's supposed to be, I believe, Church of Chalcedon, or Council of Chalcedon video, and then we'll be recording our next class session. And then Saturday, it will be our special project where Caleb's video on the virgin birth will be coming out, and is just as good and just as dumb as the last one.
I have to say,
Yeah.
I will say, and this is probably a bad admission to make before the video comes out. but I had a little more fun writing the resurrection myth. Um, yeah, I think I had more fun writing that one, but I think that's because the claims were a little more outlandish.
Yeah.
I said to you, Josh, I was like, honestly, his claims this time had a little bit more weight to them, and really, it's only one. Like, it's only Nathan Raw. Um, it's like the only one where it's like, okay, you know what? I can kind of see this, but even then, it's a stretch,
Yeah.
and even then, like, let's grant it. You guys will see the video. So I have to say, this one I actually had to put like a little bit of thought into, which made it not quite as much fun in the sense of like jokes, but it was more
I
fun
will
to
say
actually
there is
do.
a disclaimer in the thumbnail for this one.
Yes, there
Um,
is. Um, but I will say I didn't actually have to do any research for the like I did research, right. I read all of their stories to make sure he's actually accurately reporting on it. What he's saying is
well, some of it was even just like
true
his actual
in the
quotes
sense
there
of
already debunk himself.
right, exactly. Um, but like so I was going, and my research for this was just reading the stories, right? Whereas last time it was compiling like a whole bunch of different narratives. This one, not so much. I didn't really have to do that. He actually was pretty helpful in this one in listing out the sources that he used, and so it was fairly easy. I didn't have any sources outside of really his article and my big brain, but that's really all I needed. Like I didn't really need anything outside of some logic.
I'll say I probably had
So
more fun editing this one than the last one because I had a better idea what I was doing.
okay, all right.
Um,
So
the last one, you could tell like so the last one as we went, the more ridiculous I personally got. This one, like, I'm just ridiculous
I see.
from the second we start. I'm just going off, um, as best as I can with my limited resources. Um, but yeah, I don't know. For some reason, the special projects just kind of get the goofy. They're more like the heftier ones, but they kind of get the goofier flavor with it, which I don't know. Maybe it's just how ridiculous they are. We gotta figure out some more special projects.
Sorry. So Josh just sent me
The baptism
his
one
baptism one,
from
and I
last
just want
year.
to read this sentence. Forget everything you heard on the internet or read in some amateur's book. If it's not here, it might not be true. Only what's here has been vetted as correct.
The level of arrogance in that statement.
Oh, it's so arrogant. That is literally all of his work. He is genuinely exhausting to read because I have to keep like going and putting drops in my eyes because I roll them back into my head so far.
Oops.
Like he is miserable to read, right? Even if I agreed with him, I would find him exhausting and draining to read because of how arrogant he is and obnoxious.
I laughed hard. In one of the comments for the debate, one of the comments was he got tired of losing on the historicity of Jesus. He had to jump to the existence of God.
Yeah, he has shifted quite thoroughly on his historicity of Jesus position because it just became untenable to actually deny that Jesus existed. Which is funny. I've not seen any atheists online claiming that Jesus didn't exist. Right? Like that used to be a huge
No, like
thing
your big
online.
ones, like your big atheist representatives are all in agreement that he existed.
Right. Because
Alex
it's
O'Connor,
undeniable.
Dawkins, all those guys and everything.
Yeah.
Well, also because neo-atheism is dying. People just realize it just.
I think we can put it past dying. I think it is dead. I think now we are getting neo atheism, which
Uh,
is your O'Connor there, his movement that's rising.
the whole what was it, non-resistant,
Yes.
whatever, non-resistant non-believer, and it's like I don't know, man. I'm listening to your arguments. You sound pretty resistant.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm,
It's
I'm
it's
not.
it's new atheism with a different suit on.
It's neo atheism with a more tolerant sound.
Right.
Anyways,
Yes.
this one we will actually log off.
Yeah. So thank you all so very much for watching. We really do hope that you enjoyed. We hope that we gave you some Christmas cheer. And if you would like to give us some Christmas cheer, you can feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. And leave a comment, once again, on what your favorite Christmas tradition is and why it's deeply pagan and why you're a heretic who's going to burn in the fires of hell forever. With all that said, guys, really do appreciate you watching. And Lord willing, we will see you in the next video.
Or Caleb will slap